I've built this huge medieval city with over 20 different houses as part of my fantasy map series. I try my best here to give you guys weekly content, so I've built this all in just 10 days. This is the large scale build of the Cerulean Citadel from my fantasy map video, and this is home to the Blue Crown Knights. Let's start off with a tour of the Old Town, which is the largest part of the city. This is where you find all the peasants and everyday folk that are working hard to make ends meet. But it can sometimes get a little bit rough around here, so hold on to your belongings and don't look at anyone funny. I've used 3 different colours for these houses and switched them around to add some variety. The different styles of roofs are simply because I was running low on pieces making this city, and I've tried to make the stone bricks look less cared for than they are in the more desirable part of town. The first of the open buildings that we will stop at is the tavern, where I've built a small bar and added some tables for the patrons, as well as this big barrel full of ale. And it looks like a couple of dwarves are entertaining the barmaid with their drunken humour. 2 doors down from here and we come to a small fruit and veg shop run by a young boy. And lastly on this row of houses, there's an orc bartering with Qui-Gon the Butcher, who owns a couple of chicken coops. I love how these roast turkey Lego pieces are pretty much the same size as a minifigure. I can't imagine how Qui-Gon managed to hang that up there. And as we turn the corner, I'll point out how I normally stress how important it is to use angles in mocks, and I have no excuse for the horrible square shape of this. Next up are the Western Steps, and here there are 2 statues either side of historic royalty. 2 guards are stationed here to make sure the riffraff doesn't find their way into the nice parts of the city. So there are a few more inaccessible buildings until we turn another corner and reach the blacksmiths. I saw a very nice furnace build on Pinterest that I've used in here. A few doors down from the blacksmith and you reach a horse stable, where I built a simple fence to keep them in, and some horse droppings that need to be mucked out.
So where would a minifigure go if they wanted to have a good time?
Nowhere. This is a family-friendly channel. We do not do that sort of thing, especially not in between the stables and the bakery.
And lastly within Old Town, there is a bakery where you can buy all of your bread and pizza. We turn one more corner and we reach the Eastern Steps, where a jester is trying to impress the guards and get himself let into Princeton. And either side of the Eastern Steps you find 2 more statues of historic royalty. Before we go up the steps ourselves, let's enjoy the B-roll of Old Town while we enjoy some medieval tunes. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video, or else I'm going to push Chadwin off the top of the castle. We are now entering Princeton, a much wealthier part of town and home to some of the nobility and higher end shops. In front of the steps there is a young woman selling fresh fruit of a much finer quality than what you'll find in Old Town.
And let's quickly talk about this Dumbledore minifigure. Why is he almost bare-chested? Does this mean Dumbledore's always got his nips out underneath his huge beard?
Next we turn the corner onto Church Road, where we of course find the church. It's here that they worship me as their Lord and Saviour 7 days a week.
I've built the church in a different style to mimic how European cities still have ancient buildings that have been maintained and outlasted different dynasties and empires.
We turn the corner again, and opposite the Western Steps lies a fine silk shop owned by a familiar face on this channel. Long Wang, what brings you back to Cerulean?
Oh, hello! I have business in every kingdom now. I am the #1 importer of silk to Midras.
That's great to hear. You must be very rich now.
Oh no, you see I have an ex-wife in every kingdom as well. They are very expensive.
Long Wang, ladies and gentlemen.
Lastly, upon a rock in the centre, we come to the royal castle with a simple portcullis at the gate and 2 elite crown knights standing guard. The aim with this build was to incorporate all of these really old roof pieces from the first ever Harry Potter wave from 2001. The wall is relatively thin and is not designed to have many minifigures walking atop it, but I've stuffed a few crossbowmen up there anyway. The keep being a very large but simple build, with 2 bay windows poking out on either side.
And on top of the keep lies a small terrace where the Queen looks out over her subjects, guarded by her most loyal knight. So if you want to see more of this series, check out the fantasy map video, which has links to all the other kingdoms that I've already built, and also leads me on to thanking Blue Dragon Bricks, who has helped out with this project by building a castle for the Black Falcons. And if you want to learn a bit of Long Wang lore, then his journey started right here.